is up, everyone? Kate here from MB Tennis. Hope you guys are doing awesome today. Today we have a racket review for you guys, and I'm pumped to share my opinions about this one because it is brand spanking new, and that is the Head Radical Pro 2023. So stick around if you want to see what I think about it. But before we jump into the video, do not forget to like and subscribe, you guys. I know you guys clicked on this video, so like and subscribe. We've just passed 3,000 subscribers, which is a little bit of a milestone for us, so let's keep it going. We want to get to 10,000 subs, so help us get to our goal and click subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. So let's jump into the racket. What did I think? There's a lot to unpack here. That's a brand new racket. First of all, let's just take a moment and say that this racket looks cosmetically very, very nice, at least in my opinion. I know some people are kind of like, meh, I don't like this dark color blue, but listen, I think when looking at it from like far away, it looks really nice. I have no problems with it at all. It's got a nice kind of, I love how head rackets have it's not a gloss, it's not a matte, I don't think they call it that. I forget what it's called, but it's like, it's a smooth kind of feeling. I love the way their rackets feel in the hand. And this kind of orange color they have goes all the way around, but then on the inside, if you guys can see, it's kind of more red, more blood orange kind of color. So definitely nice looking racket. And this one was very exciting for me to use and try because I'm kind of on a racket journey, but kind of not, because my Extreme Tours, they're getting a little bit old. I've used them for, I think it's been almost 3 years now. And I like that one more than the old Extreme, or the new Extreme. So I'm just testing rackets out just to see what's out there, but this was one of the ones. So let's really jump into it here. From the back, this is definitely a player's racket. I'm going to get that out of the way. If you are somebody that's a club player, I don't think you should be playing with the Radical Pro. I just think for people that are at the lower level, it's too hard to generate power with. This is more of a racket that's in the line of a Prestige, in my opinion. Like after hitting the Prestige a couple weeks ago, like this has a little bit more power, but not that much more, to be honest. And the launch angle is very low as well compared to other, power tweener 100 square inch rackets. So if you're looking for a power, kind of racket, this is not it. Get away from here, go see a Pure Drive, Pure Arrow, Clash, those kind of things. But this racket is kind of in my wheelhouse, so that's why I was very excited to test it. So from the back, very solid. There's not much to pick apart really from the forehand if we start there. The only thing for me is that the launch angle is a little bit lower than my Extreme Tour. So that was definitely something I had to get used to. It took me a good solid, 30, 45 minutes to get used to the launch angle on the ground strokes. And the other thing that's expected is that I'm gonna have to use my body a little bit more than on my Extreme Tour or a Pure Arrow kind of racket or anything like that, because even though this is a 16-19 pattern, it's a little bit more closed. So what I mean by that is like the holes are kind of closer, so it's a closed 16-by-19 pattern, and that gives you more control. So even though my Extreme Tour is a 16-by-19, this one's gonna be a little bit harder to generate more power. So I felt I needed to use my body at times. So a couple times early on in the play test, the balls were landing a little bit short. And that kind of kicked me in the butt a little bit because then I got burned down the line or whatever. So that was a little bit of a knock on the forehands, but eventually I was starting to get used to it. So if we go to the backhand, this racket was really nice on the backhand. Actually, I really enjoyed it. Similar things. I mean, I have a pretty flat backhand already, so the launch angle didn't really bother me in that sense. And I was able to get some good spin on the backhand as well. Backhand was very solid, no knocks actually on the backhand with this one. But really just from the back, very average. There's nothing super blah about it really, or bad. It didn't really have any flaws. It's just like pretty all right, pretty standard. Didn't do anything amazing, but just pretty mediocre. We come up to the net, we start hitting some volleys. Also really solid. Once again, like nothing amazing, like it had good feeling. I like the feeling on the volleys. Something about head rackets, the volleys feel very crisp with head rackets. All their rackets really, like my Extreme Tour Customized feels well. I hit the gravity in the fall, even though I really didn't like that racket, but the volleys felt really good. The Radical, no disappointing thoughts about volleys here, was very stable. Sometimes when you don't add weight stock to it, it can be flimsy, even though this racket is like 11.2 or something stock weight, but it was not flimsy at all. The volleys, really liked it. Overhead with this racket was really good, like really good. I think that was probably the standout part with this racket. I don't feel like I could miss an overhead with this racket. It was just very solid swinging overhead. So if you want a good racket for overheads, buy this sucker. Yeah, nothing wrong with overhead whatsoever. I did forget to talk about slice. I would say it's also just average. It was getting the job done. Nothing super special though. For serve and return, I really enjoyed the racket on return. Once again, just average though. There was nothing that was really standing out. And then on the serve, I was able to hit my spots. I was able to hit the spins, but I didn't have quite the feeling, and I couldn't generate as much power, which is expected, as I did with my Extreme Tour Customized. Now, I would like to mention that I did string this up with my string, which is Solinco Confidential, and I even lowered the tension. I strung it at 52 and 50 on the crosses. And the reason I lowered my tension on this is because the string pattern is a little bit more closed, and it's a more controlled racket. So I was trying to get a little bit more pop out of it. But yeah, serves were solid, both on the deuce and ad side. Was able to hit the slice, the kick, the flat, but just not as much power and didn't have the same feeling for me compared to my Extreme Tour. So then, a couple days passed and I was like, I kind of want to give this another try. So this is the same thing that happened with my Extreme Tour. I said, I'm going to put some lead on it. Let's see what happens. And the racket is already pretty heavy as it is. Like for stock racket, it's pretty heavy, in my opinion at least. So I put some lead, about a good solid 9, actually this is more than 9 centimeters. I forget exactly the number, but it's pretty much across from the first cross to the other, or like where the cross goes across, right here. That's all lead. I put lead all up in the 12 o'clock position because I wanted to try and get more power in depth behind my shot, because I felt, like I said, the ball was landing a little bit short sometimes, and I wanted to get a little bit more oomph off my shot. So I can say that this did in fact help. So if you are someone that's currently using the Radical and you really like how it feels, you don't want to switch a racket, but you want to get a little bit more power, add some lead tape right here. I use a 1/4 inch strip. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of comments about the lead. I will say right now, I do not have a scale, and I measure by centimeters because that's just how I do it, because I don't have a scale, and I do use 1/4 inch lead tape. So that's all I can tell you about that. But overall, very fun play test. The golden question that people always ask me, are you going to switch to this racket, Cade? No, I am not. I really wanted to though. Like going into this play test, I really wanted to switch to this racket. It looks so nice, but like I can't. There's a couple things with, the launch angle's a tiny bit too low, and not enough pop for me, and the feeling wasn't quite there. That's the thing that I say about a lot of rackets. It needs to nail those 3 categories. But it's close. We're getting closer. So yeah, this is a great play test. Definitely try this out if you're a very advanced junior player, college player, if you're strong enough to handle it. I know a lot of people think the Radical might be easy to wield around, but it's not. It's really not. It's almost like a Prestige. So try it out. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
do.